Right, the next stage is to machine the slot down there for the magnetic tape. The tape's 10mm wide, but we're going to put a bigger cutter down just to take a light cut, just to make sure this is all level. That's obviously got to be square to the axis of the machine. The simple way of doing it, just the way I do it. I've got a bit of 14mm key steel here. That's a perfect fit in the T slot, so if we push that up against it, that is going to be in line with the machine, simple as that. I can put a clock on to check it, but it'll be right. So that goes up against there. Then we'll put a couple of decent clamps on, probably put 4 on actually, 1 in each corner, and then we can find the centre and mill the slot. So that's all it is, a little bit of key steel in there. And all that drill does is stop it from dropping right down through. You can't get much simpler or easier than that. I'll put 1 clamp on this end and probably 2 on the other end. I'm going to put a little copper packing piece on there because that's obviously machined face. We don't want to be damaging that in any way. 1 more clamp on here and then it's looking not too bad. Either use copper or aluminium. I got some nice copper strips given and they're ideal for this sort of application. Right, we're looking along the back side now, and that's a piece of key steel. So if we bring this in to a 0, not anywhere really, we'll do it on a 0. Then if we wind the compound slide or the cross slide along, or the mill machine bed along, what we're looking for is no movement, or virtually no movement, and that's just about as good as it's going to get. So that's really simple setup. It's super accurate, you can't get any better than that really. It's sometimes hard to see the easy way to do things. Right, next we need to find the centre. I'll just measure between those 2 points. Bring it in, it touches, and that stops moving, kicks off, 0 the y-axis, across to the other side. There. Then all we do is half the y-axis. Right, and that's spot on in the middle, so I can lock that axis off now. I'm going to machine it flat on using a 20mm cutter just to get a nice smooth flat area, and then we'll do the 10mm cut after that. And touch this off. I think the aluminium part is actually slightly proud of the cast iron bit anyway. Right, I'll lock that axis off and then we'll run it down. It's not quite touching the cast iron yet. There's now just touching it. Well, that's strange. I would have expected that to cut all the way along, and it's not. I'm going to take this back off here and just make sure that that isn't actually slightly proud of that top face. That should just cut parallel all the way along, and I know the machine's absolutely spot on. Right, there's the problem. It's actually sitting proud on that side. Right, if I look very closely, there's actually a raised burr on that part of the actual casting slide, and that is slightly above, so I'll have to just ease them holes a little bit to make sure that it's down below there. My friend Bob would grind that flat for us, but my friend Bob's not here, so what I'll have to do is just use a file and some nice fine emery and make sure that's flat. But that's what's putting us off. It wouldn't have been much. I could have carried on and done the cut and it would have been alright, but it wouldn't have been right, and I want it right, especially when it's not mine, which is going to be right. Simple as that. Right, you can see the damage on there. I don't know how it's been caused, but there's definitely a nasty raised bit on there. That's so I can get this ground, get it flash surface ground, and it's going to make a proper job for the lad. I gave this Myford cross slide to my friend Bob, and he's taken it to work and ground it and made an absolutely superb job of it. He only took 0.3 of a mil off, so it was nothing, but it's removed all the nasty little rags. Always quite a rough bit on there. So now we know it's going to be lying dead flat on the milling table. We can carry on and machine it. One mistake I nearly made, I had centred the tool in the centre of there. It needs to be in the centre of that part, because that part's actually offset. So clock it in again on that part and get this slot machined. Once again, I'm using the bit of 14mm key steel as a backstop. Before I put the last clamp on, I need to find the centre of the aluminium piece. What I've done, I've tried to put the display so you can see it. Do that side first, so we can bring it down and wind the inlet. It touches and it'll stop moving. It'll kick off. We'll do it again. That's it there. So we'll zero the y-axis at that. Go to the other side. Same again. Bring it out, it stops moving. Do it again. Stops moving and then kicks off. That's it there. So then we need to half the y-axis. And that to put it right in the centre. Just like that. We're going to lock off that axis now. Nice big cutter back in. We'll lock off the quill and all the feeds put on using the Z-axis. Right, we need to put the last clamp on just to keep this in place nicely. They're all nipped, that's hard up against the key, the backstop. Right, so we've got it now. I'll bring the camera in and we'll get this slot machined. This is a 20mm cutter, just to put a nice path along, make sure it's all level, nice and true. Then we'll do the 10mm cut. It's for the magnetic tape. We'll touch this off. .4mm of a cut there. You take that quite nicely. Still not touching the cast iron. I'm sure very far away. Taking very little off, but it shows how true the faces are to each other and how true the mill machine actually is. That's less than a foul by the feel of that. You just scraping the surface. It's taking enough off to do what it's supposed to do. Right, very happy with that. We'll change it out now and put the 10mm cutter in and cut the slot. Clumsy bastard, you. John, man. careful for this clamp that we don't actually hit that, which looks like it might. We'll drop the cutter down a little bit further, just so we've got clearance between the chuck and the clamping nut. Right, that's better there. Right, just check the draw and see how deep it's got to be. The depth's 1.8, so we need to touch this off. Our y-axis is still locked up. Right, that's just touching there. I'm going to zero the z-axis. Put a half million, see what happens. Lock the table off at that. It's quite a new cutter, so it should do the job quite nicely for him. One mil cut this time, 6 at the 1.5, and then the last 0.3 will be the final cut. Making a really nice job of it. We'll probably do this in one pass, it's got quite a real very fat lathe, so it should be a bit of decent quality cast iron. It certainly appears to be. So we're now down in the last part, the 1.8. Tighten up the x-axis and then machine the last little bit. Right, it's a little stone rubbing across the top there to take the little burrs off, but basically that's a very nice job. got a little slip stone here, a little oil stone. I just want to carefully take any rags off. Right, that's better. Happy with that, nice job. Once again, it's a massive thanks to my friend Bob for machining that, grinding that flat. It's really has made a first class job of it. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Anyway, thanks for watching. And don't forget, I also have a Patreon channel. There's a link to that in the description box. Anyway, thanks for watching.